there, everyone. Get ready for a fun and exciting adventure because today we're diving into the Easy Grow Obby. But this one's not your typical Obby. Oh no, this time you have to change your size to fit through all the crazy obstacles. That's right. We'll be growing taller and shrinking down to get through each challenging stage. Doesn't that sound awesome? Imagine towering over everything like a giant or sneaking through tight spots like a tiny mouse.
Yeah, it does sound fun, but, don't forget to be careful, everyone. Changing size isn't as easy as it looks. What if we accidentally grow too big and can't fit through a narrow passage? Or what if we shrink down too much and get stuck somewhere? There are so many things that could go wrong, but don't worry, we'll figure it out together, right?
Exactly, anxiety. That's what makes this obby so much fun. It's all about figuring out the right size at the right time. We'll need to be quick, clever, and maybe a little bit daring. But I know we can do it. And hey, while we're tackling these challenges, don't forget to smash that like button if you're as excited as we are. Also, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on any of our fun adventures. And we want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let us know how far you got in this obby and if you have any cool tips for us.
Yeah, comments are super helpful. And subscribing means you'll be the first to know when we're taking on another crazy obby or trying something new. And we love hearing from you. It makes this whole journey so much better knowing you're with us every step of the way. So please share your thoughts, your strategies, or even what part of the obby made you nervous. I mean, challenged you the most.
Let's not waste any more time, shall we? I'm so ready to see just how big or small we can go. Who's with us? Let's show this obby who's boss and make it through with flying colors. And remember, the most important thing is to have fun and enjoy the ride. After all, that's what gaming is all about, right?
Absolutely. But also, don't forget to be cautious and plan your moves. We've got this. Together, we can handle whatever this obby throws at us. So let's do this, team. I'll be right here, keeping an eye on everything and making sure we don't miss any details.
Story time. The story will be about how we used to be in the head of a scientist who invented a cure for a very dangerous disease. Oh, how thrilled I was that we ended up in the mind of such a smart person. Our scientist was incredibly talented and kind. He dedicated his whole life to science, and his goal was to save many lives. From the very beginning, we felt that it was our destiny to help him in this challenging task. Every day was a new discovery for us. I tried to inspire him, reminding him of how important his work was and how many people were waiting for his success. When he found new solutions, his heart was filled with joy, and at those moments, I felt incredibly needed. It was in those moments that he understood he was on the right track.
But it wasn't all that simple. How I raged when he encountered obstacles. Whenever something went wrong, I was literally overwhelmed with fury. Failures were frequent in the lab. Experiments didn't yield the desired results. Formulas didn't match. And each of his setbacks felt like a blow to my heart. And then I came to the rescue. Yes, I know that sometimes anger can seem destructive, but at that moment, I became his driving force. I made him fight, not give up, and push through. I embodied the fire that burned away everything in its path and cleared the way for new solutions. In those moments, our scientist realized he had to keep fighting and seek new ways to solve the problem.
Oh, and for me, it was a real test. I was constantly worried that something might go wrong. Every time he opened a new scientific journal or tried to create a new medicine, I couldn't sit still. I knew that people's lives were at stake, and every mistake could have fatal consequences. I literally didn't let him relax, constantly reminding him of the risks, that everything needed to be checked, recounted, and checked again. Every test tube, every formula was a reason for concern. I knew I had to make him be as careful as possible because the cost of a mistake was too high. But I tried to keep myself together, knowing that his focus and attentiveness depended on me.
And for me, it was a real nightmare. The lab. How unpleasant it all was. Those chemical smells, colorful liquids, strange substances. It all filled me with indescribable disgust. But I understood that if I didn't closely monitor all this, the scientist might make a mistake. I tried to keep him from using questionable ingredients and making wrong steps. When he suddenly decided to try a new reagent, I immediately felt that it could be dangerous. I literally screamed in his mind that it was the wrong decision, and he heard me. He decided to conduct additional tests and realized that I was right. That was the moment when my sense of disgust saved him from a mistake that could have cost him not only the results, but also his career.
And you know, throughout all this time, we felt that it was our collective effort. We fought, worried, and rejoiced together. And when he finally found the right formula, when the medicine was ready, I couldn't contain my joy. It was a real miracle. We knew we had saved many lives, and it was our greatest achievement. The scientist was recognized worldwide. His name became a symbol of hope for thousands of people. And although we return to the mind of another person, we will always remember this experience as one of the most significant in our lives.
We proved that even in the most challenging situations, you can find a way out if you're not afraid to fight until the end.
And if you care about every person, every life, you will definitely find the strength to be careful and attentive.
And even the most unpleasant moments can be useful if you notice and correct them in time.
Today, we embark on an exciting adventure that took place many years ago. Imagine a world where a robot, our main hero, fought against evil robots to save the planet. I, Joy, was in his head, and my role was to keep his spirits up and maintain his morale even in the darkest times. My favorite moment was when the robot first started his mission. He looked so brave that it was impossible not to feel joy for him. When he successfully won one of the battles, I felt his heart fill with pride. We shared every moment of victory, every difficulty, and rejoiced in every small triumph. These moments were not only our victories, but also our lessons. I supported him through tough times and celebrated with him in moments of triumph.
Oh, and that's just part of the story. I, Anger, was with him when things didn't go as planned. My role was to fire him up when setbacks piled up on his path. Remember that battle against the evil robot when our hero faced unexpected difficulties? I was in his mind when, enraged by his mistakes and failures, he transcended his own limitations. At such moments, I literally exploded with rage, fueling his determination and helping him not to give up. My presence intensified his resolve, and he tackled every challenge despite all obstacles. I was his inner drive, his passion, and the force that pushed him towards victory.
And I, Anxiety, played a crucial role in this journey by ensuring that our robot was always on alert and didn't miss important details. My job was to warn him of potential dangers and remind him of possible risks. I remember when he discovered the evil robot's plan to destroy energy sources. I was constantly raising alarms when he approached potential traps or threats. My anxiety helped him act cautiously, plan his steps, and avoid possible dangers. It was a tense time, but I knew my work was crucial for his safety and the success of the mission.
And I, Disgust, was present when our robot faced the most repulsive situations, such as dealing with dirty and ruined areas, or even worse, with robots using dirty tricks and cunning tactics. I recall how he looked at the disgusting condition of their bases, and I was just horrified by everything he saw. I helped him cope with these unpleasant situations by maintaining his resilience and motivation. I reminded him that, despite all these horrible and unpleasant things, he needed to keep moving forward for the greater good. My presence, though unpleasant, gave him strength and confidence. So, our robot overcame all challenges with the help of us, his internal emotions and helpers. We all worked together in his great mission, and thanks to this, the world was saved. Each of us was important and indispensable in this thrilling and complex story. And despite all the trials he went through, he continued to move forward knowing that he had reliable allies inside him who were always ready to help.
Well, our review has come to an end, and I'm so glad we could spend this time together. I hope you enjoyed our Easy Grow Obby mode. If you did, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Your feedback is very important to us, and your likes and subscriptions help us keep creating these exciting videos for you. Also, if you have ideas for future videos or suggestions for modes, be sure to share them in the comments. We always love to hear your thoughts and ideas. Thank you for being with us, and see you soon in the next videos. Goodbye, friends! Hello, dear friends. I am Joy, and today we will be playing Roblox in the mode Escape Mr. Funny's Toy Shop.
Hello, I am Anxiety. I heard that this mode is very scary. I hope our boy Tim is not easily frightened and can handle this challenge.
And to help Tim get through this challenge, let's all support him together. To help him, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment with your support for Tim. It really helps him a lot.
It seems to me that I heard some laughter. Tim, go check it out. I think that sound came from the other corridor.
Yes, I also heard a very strange and frightening noise. Tim, be careful.
Whoa, what happened here? Everything is turned over and knocked down. I think this is not a very good sign.
Don't worry so much, Anxiety. Our Tim has already overcome many challenges and obstacles. I'm sure he will manage this one too.
These pipes look quite dangerous. They are small and easy to fall off. Just don't look down and it won't be so scary.
I see a lever over there. I think it needs to be pulled down to open the passage forward.
What if the lever is a trap? Tim, be careful!
It wasn't a trap after all, Disgust. Some platforms have risen. I think we need to jump across them to proceed.
I think danger awaits us after the stairs. I am very scared. I believe we'll encounter the one who caused the chaos in the main room. Wait, why did the gates close behind us and the lights go out? This is a very, very bad sign.
Don't worry, Anxiety. If something goes wrong and Tim struggles, I'll roast him on the biggest bonfire you've ever seen. Tim won't be left in trouble.
Ah! Someone very frightening is chasing us. It's definitely the one who caused the chaos in the main room. Just look at his walk. His legs are wobbling. It seems he was never taught to walk properly as a child and was bullied, which is why he became so angry.
Despite his awkward walk, he's very fast, but Tim has always been quicker than the rest. I believe he'll manage to escape this time too.
Tim, stop and hit him in the legs. I think that will make him fall, and you'll be able to run further away from him.
Tim, don't listen to him. If you stop, he'll definitely do something to you. Keep running as fast as you can.
Maybe he wants to be friends?
Of course not, Joy. Just look at him. If he wanted to be friends, he wouldn't be chasing us with such a scary face. Plus, he could have told us he wanted to be friends. Yuck. He's so disgusting.
These bars are not very reassuring. Look ahead. The mesh has fallen off completely.
Tim has managed to get past the bars, but listen carefully. There are some familiar sounds ahead.
Those are the sounds of the game Red Light, Green Light. I've seen it somewhere before, but I forgot the exact details. However, I remember the rules. You need to move when it's green light and stay still when it's red light. If you move during red light, something very bad will happen to you.
Tim is almost through this game, which means it's time for us to tell stories. Now, let's tell the story of how Tim went fishing for the first time. Once upon a time, Tim decided to go fishing for the first time. It was a bright, sunny day, perfect for an adventure. Tim had always been curious about fishing, so we, his inner voices, were excited to help him make the most of this experience. As Tim arrived at the lake, his eyes sparkled with anticipation. He set up his fishing rod with a sense of wonder, and I, Joy, couldn't help but cheer him on. "Look at him go!" I exclaimed. "He's doing great so far. This is going to be so much fun. Just imagine all the joy and excitement when he catches his first fish."
But as Tim prepared to cast his line, anxiety crept in. Oh no, what if he doesn't catch anything? What if the fish aren't biting? What if he gets bored or frustrated? What if something goes wrong with the fishing gear? I worried, watching Tim with concern. He might face some challenges, and I hope—
Anger, wasn't too pleased with the situation either. Why does fishing have to be so complicated? I grumbled. Why can't things just be easy? Why does Tim have to deal with tangled lines and slippery fish? It's so annoying when things don't go perfectly. But even though I was frustrated, I knew it was important to support Tim through the challenges. He has to learn to deal with these obstacles, I said. But it's definitely not fair that it's so difficult.
Disgusted by the messiness of fishing, I looked at the bait with distaste. Ugh, look at that slimy worm. Why does fishing have to involve such gross things? The smell and the texture are just awful, I complained. But Tim is trying his best despite the unpleasant aspects. We need to support him through this, even if it's really disgusting. Even though the fishing experience was quite disgusting, seeing Tim's happiness made it a bit more bearable. I suppose it's worth it if he's happy. Maybe the next time won't be so gross. We just need to get through the icky parts to enjoy the success. In the end, it was a memorable day for Tim, filled with challenges and triumphs. And despite all our different feelings, We were all proud of how he handled his first fishing adventure.
I had to admit, seeing Tim catch the fish made me a bit less frustrated. All right, I guess he handled the complications well. Even though it was annoying at times, he managed to overcome the challenges. Maybe fishing isn't so bad after all.
Even though Tim succeeded, I still had some lingering worries. I hope he's careful with the fish and the equipment, and I hope he doesn't get too disheartened if things don't go as smoothly next time. But he did really well today, and that's what matters.
Despite the worries, frustrations, and unpleasantness, Tim kept trying. And guess what? He finally felt a tug on his line. His face lit up with pure joy as he reeled in his very first fish. "Look at that! He did it!" I cheered. All our support and patience paid off. Tim has caught his first fish, and it's a moment he'll always remember with a big smile. Before we start the next story, I'd like to ask you to subscribe, like the video, and hit the notification bell next to the subscribe button so you don't miss Tim's new adventures.
The story will be about how Tim learned to make wooden crafts.
Once upon a time, Tim decided he wanted to learn how to make wooden crafts. It was an exciting new adventure for him, and I, Joy, was thrilled to be part of it. The day started with Tim eagerly gathering his materials: wood, tools, and paint. "Look at him go!" I cheered. "He's so enthusiastic and ready to create something amazing. This is going to be a fun and rewarding experience for him." Tim carefully followed the instructions for his first project: a small wooden birdhouse. As he measured, cut, and assembled the pieces, I couldn't help but feel delighted. He's doing such a great job. Just imagine how happy he'll be when he finishes his first craft. This is a fantastic way for him to express his creativity and skill.
But as Tim continued his project, anxiety began to worry. What if he makes a mistake with the measurements? What if the pieces don't fit together properly? What if he gets frustrated when things don't go as planned? I fretted, watching Tim with concern. There's so much that can go wrong with woodworking. I hope he stays patient and doesn't get too discouraged if things don't turn out perfectly.
Anger was getting frustrated with some of the challenges Tim faced. "Why does it have to be so complicated?" I grumbled. "The tools are difficult to handle, and the instructions are confusing. It's so annoying when things don't work out easily." Despite my frustration, I knew it was important to support Tim through these obstacles. "He has to learn to deal with these challenges," I said. "But it's definitely not fair that it's so hard."
Disgusted by the messiness of the project, I grimaced as Tim worked. Ugh, look at all the sawdust and the sticky glue. Why does woodworking have to be so messy and unpleasant? The smell of the paint and the texture of the wood are just gross, I complained. But even though it's really unpleasant, Tim is putting in a lot of effort. We need to support him through this, even if it's quite disgusting.
Despite the worries, frustrations, and unpleasantness, Tim persevered. His dedication paid off as he completed his first wooden birdhouse. "Look at that! He did it!" I cheered. "He's finished his craft, and it looks fantastic." All our support and encouragement helped him get through the challenges. He's so proud of his work, and it's such a joy to see his hard work come to fruition.
Even though Tim succeeded, I still had some lingering concerns. I hope he's careful with the tools in the future and doesn't get discouraged by any mistakes he might make. Woodworking can be tricky, but he did really well today. I'm relieved he managed to finish his project successfully.
I had to admit, seeing Tim complete his birdhouse made me feel a bit less frustrated. All right, maybe it wasn't as easy as it seemed, and he handled the difficulties well. Even though it was annoying at times, he managed to overcome the challenges. Maybe woodworking isn't so bad after all.
Even though the woodworking project was quite messy and unpleasant, seeing Tim's satisfaction made it more tolerable. I suppose it's worth it if he's happy with his work. Maybe the next project won't be so gross. We just need to get through the messy parts to enjoy the success. In the end, Tim's experience with woodworking was a memorable one, filled with challenges and achievements. Despite all our different feelings, we were all proud of how he learned and succeeded in his new craft.
And so the stories come to an end. Tim has defeated the main boss and is nearing the end of the level. I believe that thanks to Tim's hard work, he's breezing through these stages. If you put in a little effort, like the video, and subscribe to the channel, it will make Tim very happy. Goodbye, everyone. Hello, my dear friends. Today we have a special adventure. We're diving into the world of Riley's prison run. This is going to be incredible because we're facing a real challenge. We'll be stuck in a prison that we need to escape from quickly. But this isn't just any ordinary prison. It's a world where everything is so strange and confusing. I just love games like this. And have any of you heard about Riley? Leave a comment if you know where this girl is from and what she's been through. I think you'll be just as surprised as I was because her story is so interesting. And while you're typing, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Your support means the world to us. And of course, make sure to hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our adventures.
Hi, guys. Oh, I'm so nervous. As soon as I heard about Riley's prison run, all these anxious thoughts started popping into my head. What if we can't escape? What if we get caught or something goes wrong? But you know what makes me feel a bit better? Your support. That's why I'm asking. Please subscribe to the channel, because with every new subscriber, I feel a little calmer. And don't forget to hit the like button. Each like is like a ray of light in this dark place. And please, guys, turn on the notification bell so you can be with us every minute of this adventure. Also, if you know anything about Riley or have heard about her before, please share it in the comments. We really need your help to get through all these challenges.
Yes, guys. Your comments, subscriptions, and likes give us the strength to keep going. With you, every adventure becomes exciting, and I'm sure we'll overcome everything. Let's start this incredible journey into Riley's world and see what mysteries and challenges lie ahead. I can't wait to see it all. So come on, friends. Let's head towards new adventures. Together, we can overcome any obstacles.
What is this abomination? Is this supposed to be me? Someone thought they could create a copy of me and just put it on display like that? No way, this is outrageous. Just look at it. Distorted, ugly parody of me. Who even dared to turn me into such a repulsive creature? I'm boiling with rage. As soon as I find out who did this, they're going to regret it. No one treats me like this.
All right, everyone. Before we jump into today's story, I just want to take a moment to talk to you all. How are you doing? I hope you're feeling as excited as I am. There's so much going on, and I can't wait to share it with you. But first, let's take a deep breath and just enjoy this moment. Isn't it amazing how we can come together like this, ready to explore new adventures? I really appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Your support means the world to us, and we love hearing your thoughts. So, while we're gearing up for the story, why not drop a comment below? Tell us about something fun you've done recently, or what you're looking forward to. And if you have any ideas for what we should explore next, don't be shy, let us know. We're all ears, and we're so excited to see where your suggestions might take us. Now, I think it's almost time. Are you ready? Because I sure am. Let's start with a story about... Let's dive into the story of Jonathan, who's going through some tough times in his life. He's facing serious challenges at work and in his personal life, feeling overwhelmed and downcast. As the internal voices of joy, anger, anxiety, and disgust, we found ourselves in his mind, each of us playing a unique role in helping him navigate these problems. Let's explore how we influenced his decisions and actions, aiding him in overcoming difficulties and finding a path to better self-understanding and life improvement.
When Jonathan was dealing with a terrible boss who was constantly showing him disrespect and unfairness, anger, couldn't stay passive. I said, "Listen, Jonathan, what's happening at work is simply unacceptable. This boss is clearly overstepping his bounds, and you shouldn't put up with it. You need to rise up and show that you're not going to just sit back and tolerate this. Remember, you have the right to respect and fairness. And if you don't stand up for yourself, no one else will do it for you. It's your job to show determination and stand up for your dignity. Don't be afraid to advocate for yourself and seek justice, even if it seems tough. Inside you is the strength to change the situation, and you need to use it to the fullest."
When Jonathan began to panic about the uncertainty of his future and worried about potential losses, anxiety, intervened to help him better prepare for possible difficulties. I said, "Jonathan, I see that you're experiencing a lot of stress and anxiety about the uncertainty of your future. This is a normal reaction, but let's think about how we can reduce these fears. Try to consider all possible scenarios in case something goes wrong. think about what steps you can take to prepare for potential issues. Planning and preparation can help you feel more confident and reduce stress. Don't forget that partial preparation can significantly lower your anxiety. It's better to think ahead about possible problems to be ready than to worry about a lack of a plan later.
When Jonathan was faced with a choice that could provoke moral disgust or internal conflict, I, disgust, intervened to help him avoid unpleasant decisions. I said, "Jonathan, look at this situation from a different perspective. If you make this decision, how will it affect your moral state? You'll likely feel constant inner tension and regret, which can affect your overall well-being and state of mind. I advise you to avoid decisions that cause you moral discomfort and internal conflict. Find a way to resolve the problem that aligns with your moral principles and doesn't lead to ongoing internal discomfort. A decision that provokes revulsion will ultimately only complicate your life and add more stress. It's better to find a path that aligns with your inner beliefs and moral standards."
Together, we helped Jonathan tackle his inner conflicts and make more informed decisions. Each of us contributed to his development, and as a result, Jonathan learned to handle difficulties and find joy in life, even in the most challenging situations. We helped him recognize the importance of preparation and planning, and supported him in making morally sound decisions. Jonathan became more confident and learned to find joy in everyday life despite the problems he faced. We're proud to have played a crucial role in his journey toward self-improvement. This story became a significant chapter in his life, and we're glad to have contributed to his growth and well-being.
My intervention during moments when Jonathan faced injustice really helped him stand up for his rights and seek fairness. I'm proud to have inspired him to take action and not tolerate unfairness. Jonathan found the strength to fight and improve the situation, which was a major step forward for him.
My role was to help Jonathan prepare for potential difficulties and reduce stress. I helped him recognize the importance of planning and preparation, which allowed him to feel more confident and lower his anxiety. This enabled him to handle emerging problems and not let worry dominate his thoughts.
I reminded Jonathan of the importance of moral principles and helped him avoid decisions that could lead to feelings of revulsion. This allowed him to make more thoughtful and morally correct choices, which ultimately improved his overall state and quality of life. Our inner voices helped him become better and happier, and that was a true accomplishment.
So, we see how Jonathan became a more confident and happier person thanks to our support. He learned to manage difficulties, find joy in life, and make thoughtful decisions. We're proud to have helped him on this path and to be part of his development. This story was an important milestone in his life, and we're glad to have played a role in his success and well-being. And the next story is about how Tim met a girl he really liked for the first time. Her name was Emma, and the moment he saw her, he was filled with excitement and nerves. He wanted to approach her, but didn't know what to say or how to start. That's when anxiety, anger, and disgust helped him. This is so exciting. Tim finally found someone he likes. We should help him feel confident. I think the best way to start is with a smile and a simple, "Hi, I'm Tim. You're Emma, right? It's going to be great. She'll see how friendly and awesome he is right away."
But what if he messes up? What if he says something awkward or stumbles over his words? We need to prepare him for every possible scenario. What if she doesn't like what he says? We should rehearse it all just in case something goes wrong. I'm really worried this could be a disaster.
Enough worrying. Tim needs to just be himself. If he likes her, he should go for it. There's no point in overthinking. If something goes wrong, he can handle it. Tim's strong, and he should show that. He can't let fear stop him.
Ugh, Tim's getting so nervous. It's almost embarrassing. He needs to keep it cool, show confidence, and definitely avoid anything awkward. We don't want him coming off as weird or desperate. He should be natural but not overdo it. And please, no awkward silences.
Thanks to our teamwork. Tim managed to have a great conversation with Emma, and they even made plans to hang out again. It was the perfect first step in a new friendship.
Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and leave a comment. I'm so worried we might miss something important if you don't hit that notification bell. We don't want to miss any new videos, right? Thank you for that. I hope everything goes well for you. Goodbye.
Hello, dear friends. I'm Joy, and I'm so happy you're with us today.
Hey there, I'm Anger. Ready for something really exciting? We've got something special for you.
Hi, it's Anxiety. I hope you're all doing well. Today's adventure will be a bit tense, but we'll get through it together.
Hi, this is Disgust. I hope you're all ready for new challenges and interesting moments. Let's get started.
Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video. It helps us keep doing what we love.
And leave comments so we know which adventures you like the most.
Yes, and share your thoughts. It's important for us to know what you think.
Ready? Then let's go. Let's start our adventure.
Today, Tim and I are going to play Roblox in the Escape Baby Bobby Daycare mode. I think it's going to be a lot of fun and very exciting.
Yeah, let's see if we can escape this daycare. It better be challenging.
I'm already feeling a bit nervous. Daycares can be full of surprises.
Let's just hope it's not too messy. I'm not a fan of sticky situations.
All right, let's get started and see what adventures await us.
Oh no, look at this huge room. And there are so many platforms to jump across. What if Tim misses and falls? These platforms are so small and far apart. What if he loses his balance? It's so scary. I don't know if he can do it.
Calm down. Tim can do this. He just needs to focus and be careful. It's a test of strength and endurance, and Tim will pass it. Stop doubting. If Tim gets nervous, he will definitely fall. He needs to stay focused and act confidently. We have to support him, not scare him, so let's cheer him on together.
You're right, Anger. It's just, I can't help worrying. I hope everything goes well. Okay, I'll try not to stress so much. Go, Tim, you can do it. We believe in you.
That's better. Hey, Tim, watch each platform carefully, take confident steps, and don't rush. You can do this. Imagine you're a hero overcoming all obstacles in your path. You got this. We believe in you.
Today we have an incredible story about Tim who accidentally found a magical flying skateboard. Yes, you heard it right. A skateboard that can fly. Tim was over the moon when he first soared through the air, and this was the start of his amazing adventure.
But joy was short-lived. As soon as Tim began using the skateboard, he ran into problems. Evil trolls appeared in town, wanting to steal the magical skateboard. They were a real threat. Tim and his friends had to fight to protect the skateboard from these nasty trolls.
Every time the trolls showed up, I was filled with worry. I always feared for Tim's safety. For instance, when the trolls captured one of Tim's friends, he had to carry out a dangerous rescue in underground catacombs. Every step was fraught with danger, and I was terrified at the thought of something bad happening.
I can't forget what Tim had to endure. When he sneaked into the troll's lair, he stumbled upon a disgusting swamp full of sticky, foul-smelling slime. The trolls lived in filth, and their lair was filled with unpleasant odors and revolting creatures. I was just appalled by what was happening.
But despite all the difficulties, Tim showed incredible courage and ingenuity. He used the magical skateboard to skillfully maneuver through obstacles and escape from the trolls. In the end, he managed to defeat the trolls and return the skateboard to its rightful place so no one else would be hurt.
Yes, Tim did it, but it was a real battle. The trolls not only wanted the skateboard, but also destroyed half the town. Every moment was filled with conflict and aggression.
But despite all the fears and worries, Tim and his friends managed to overcome. They learned to work together and use their strengths to tackle every challenge. It was very tense, but the outcome was worth it.
And even though the adventure was full of unpleasant moments, Tim showed that with determination and bravery, you can overcome any obstacle, no matter how awful.
So, kids, that was an amazing adventure. Thanks for spending this time with us. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on new stories and adventures of Tim. And the next story will be about Tim, who unexpectedly found himself in an incredible world where every day repeats over and over as if he had entered Groundhog Day. At first, it seemed amazing and fun, as Tim could do anything without worrying about the consequences.
But, as often happens, not everything was smooth. Tim quickly realized that each day repeated with small but annoying changes. Even simple things, like the order in his room or what he did in the morning, became a constant source of irritation. He tried to change his actions, but nothing could alter the fact that everything started from scratch again.
What worried me the most was that Tim didn't know when this endless day would end. Every time he thought he found a way to escape or change something, he woke up again on the same day. This created a huge sense of anxiety because he didn't know how to cope with the cycle.
And not only that, every day Tim faced the same unpleasant things. The memories of having to clean dirty spots in the house or repeatedly tidy up things that were already cleaned were just disgusting. All of this made Tim's day even more unpleasant.
But despite all the difficulties, Tim found a way to use this strange situation to his advantage. He learned to make each thing better than before. He used every repetitive day to perfect his skills, help others, and have fun. It was amazing how he turned even the most ordinary moments into something special.
Even though he continued to face annoying repetitions, Tim learned to deal with it. He stopped getting angry at every little mishap and started using his new skills to overcome challenges.
I saw how Tim became more confident and calm despite the constant repetition of the day. He learned to manage his anxiety by focusing on his goals and trying not to worry about when it would all end.
And even though many things remained unpleasant, Tim learned to take lessons from them. He stopped complaining about dirty and disgusting things and began to see them from a new perspective. It was unexpected but still useful.
In the end, when Tim learned to find joy in every moment and used his experience to improve the lives of those around him, the Groundhog Day ended. He returned to normal time, but with new knowledge and skills that helped him handle any difficulty.
And although the path was long and irritating, Tim managed to overcome this challenge and became stronger.
I was so happy to see Tim learn to cope with anxiety and find a way to handle any situation.
Yes, and even despite all the unpleasant moments, Tim was able to use his skills to make his life better. It was truly amazing.
And the next story will be about how Tim found himself on a magical island where all wishes come true. This island was full of amazing things: flying crystals, talking animals, and an ocean of chocolate milk. Tim was on cloud 9 with happiness.
But not everything was so rosy. The island had its problems. At first, Tim struggled with magical creatures who often got their wishes mixed up, leading to mishaps. Some island games were incredibly difficult and even frustrating.
I was worried about the unpredictability of the island. Every day, something new and strange happened. Snake rain, unexpected disappearances of objects, and unpredictable behavior from magical creatures. Tim didn't know what to expect, and it made him very anxious.
And I was grossed out by how some magical creatures left their mess everywhere. These creatures were messy, and there was dirt and sticky spots all over the place. Tim tried to find a way to deal with this mess, but it was quite a challenge.
Despite all the difficulties, Tim didn't miss a chance to enjoy the happy moments. He explored the island, met kind creatures, and took part in amazing adventures. In the end, he found a way to use the island's magic to make his day even more magical.
Although the island was full of challenges, Tim learned to handle them. He used his skills to overcome the toughest trials and turned frustration into motivation.
Over time, Tim got used to the strange and unpredictable events. He began to adapt to the new rhythm of life on the island and even found joy in unexpected twists.
Tim also found ways to deal with the dirt and mess. He became more tolerant of inconveniences and learned to find pleasure even in the least appealing aspects of island life.
Thus, Tim completed his adventure on the magical island, full of wonders and amazing discoveries. He learned to find joy even in tough situations and made the experience unforgettable.
Tim became stronger and more confident despite all the difficulties.
He learned to handle unexpected situations and grew more self-assured.
And even the dirt and mess didn't ruin his adventure. Tim learned to cope with inconveniences and find something positive in them.
So our adventure ends on a high note, with new knowledge and experiences that Tim will remember for a long time. Well, our stories have come to an end. We hope you enjoyed listening to them as much as we enjoyed telling them. We put a lot of heart into them and tried to make them interesting and exciting for you. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us continue creating new and thrilling adventures for you.
Yeah, and every like, every subscription, and every comment really matters to us. We want our stories to reach as many people as possible, and your support helps us a lot. Don't forget to leave comments so we know what stories you want to hear next. Your thoughts and suggestions are very valuable to us.
Thank you for being with us today. Avoid dirty situations unless they're in a story. Keep your space clean and your heart joyful.
We're happy to share these moments with you and hope our stories bring you joy and inspiration.
Goodbye, everyone. See you next time. Hello, dear friends. Today we have a totally crazy mode. Skibidi Toilet Berry's Prison Run. Can you believe it? Tim will be escaping from Skibidi Toilets. Yes, you heard that right. These creepy toilets have set up a real challenge for us, and Tim has to escape from this insane prison without getting caught.
But before we dive into this wild adventure, please make sure to subscribe to our channel. Every subscription helps us create even more exciting videos so you can enjoy these thrilling moments with us.
And don't forget to hit that like button. If you're loving this idea and want to see more strange and interesting modes, your like will really help us out.
Of course, leave your comments. Tell us which part of today's video surprised you the most or what gave you the chills. Or maybe you have ideas for future modes. We'd love to hear everything you have to say.
And don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss out on new episodes. We've got a lot of exciting content coming your way, so get ready for incredible adventures.
Guys, do you smell that nasty odor? It seems like the smell of toilets. How disgusting. It's just unbearable. Let's hurry up and escape from this revolting prison before it gets even worse.
No, I don't feel anything at all. Maybe it's because my nose is stuffed, or I've just gotten so used to these smells that I don't even notice them anymore. But honestly, I'm kind of glad I can't smell that stench, because judging by how you describe it, I'd definitely be furious.
Just look at this. Under us is that stinky and disgusting toilet. It's so unpleasant to be so close to that horrible place. Every time I see that filth and smell that repulsive odor, it gives me chills. The stench seeps through the walls and seems to fill the air around us. I can't wait to get out of this terrible place.
Can you imagine what our boy Tim has to go through? All these disgusting places, these terrible smells. It's overwhelming. Every moment he spends in this dreadful environment must be so stressful. I really think he deserves a lot of support right now. So if you can, please give him a like and subscribe. It would mean a lot and help him keep going through these tough challenges.
Story time. Story will be about how Tim went on a round-the-world journey. This story began when Tim decided to fulfill his long-held dream, to embark on a round-the-world journey. Imagine him, full of enthusiasm and joy, preparing for this adventure. His eyes sparkled as he gathered everything he needed, a world map, travel guides, and of course his favorite backpack. Tim was brimming with anticipation as he was about to see new countries, meet different cultures, and make many exciting discoveries. It was so inspiring that even I, Joy, found it hard to contain my excitement. Tim had dreamed of this journey for so long, and now finally his dream was coming true.
But unfortunately, joy doesn't always go hand in hand with reality. When Tim crossed the border of his country and found himself in a completely unfamiliar place, anxiety started to build up. We have to admit that traveling doesn't always go as planned, and this is especially evident when you're far from home. Tim faced unexpected challenges, language barriers, changing weather, and complex transportation systems. In each new country, he felt his anxiety grow as he constantly wondered, what if I get lost? Or what if I can't find my way back? These thoughts haunted him, and I, anxiety, found it very difficult to watch his distress.
And then, as if adding insult to injury, came a moment when everything became simply unbearable. When Tim encountered several unsuccessful attempts to find accommodation and places where he was simply ignored, my anger couldn't stay out of it. He spent hours trying to figure out local rules and find alternative options, and it really made him feel frustrated. Imagine long queues, incorrectly booked tickets, and constant delays. All of this triggered a storm of emotions, and I, anger, fully felt Tim's struggle with these trials. How could anyone not get angry when everything goes wrong as planned?
But strangely enough, the toughest moments aren't always about irritation. When Tim found himself in places that clearly didn't meet his expectations, such as dirty hotels or crowded markets with unbearable smells, disgust, found it hardest to stay in the background. He faced situations that caused him deep disgust. Unkempt conditions, unpleasant odors, and poor hygiene. At times, this became a real challenge, and Tim, with no other option, had to accept it as part of his journey. I, disgust, saw his internal discomfort grow vividly, and it was far from pleasant.
Despite all the difficulties, Tim didn't give up. He continued his journey, and each obstacle was overcome, each barrier crossed. His determination and willpower helped him handle any challenges, and in the end, he found satisfaction in what he saw and experienced. Joy, anxiety, anger, and disgust were all part of his journey, and although each of us contributed to his emotions, Tim learned to manage them and move forward. And while it was sometimes hard, the journey made his experience much richer and more valuable.
We all see how Tim became more confident and adaptable to the unexpected, and although anxiety still occasionally bothers him, he learned to handle it. This experience taught him how important patience and flexibility are, and how even the toughest situations can offer valuable lessons.
Despite all the difficulties and irritations, Tim understands that every challenge is an opportunity to become better. And while it's sometimes hard to deal with one's own anger, he learned to turn it into energy for achieving goals.
And although moments of disgust were unpleasant, Tim learned to handle them and view them as part of the adventure. He realized that every experience, even the most unpleasant, could be a valuable lesson.
So, this is how Tim completed his round-the-world journey. He returned home filled with incredible memories and new knowledge. And although his path was full of emotions and trials, every moment made his journey unique and unforgettable. And the next story will be about how Tim got stuck in Groundhog Day. Imagine, guys, one day Tim wakes up and realizes that every day is repeating itself. Imagine this. He wakes up in the morning, thinking everything is as usual, but then he notices strange things. For example, he already knows that the neighbor outside will trip, the bus will always arrive a minute late, and that his mom has again forgotten to turn off the kitchen light. It all seems so funny. After all, you can live this day however you want without worrying about consequences because tomorrow, it all starts over again. Tim even began to test this in practice. He did some silly and funny things that he would normally never do. What fun, right? But then,
of course, the realization comes that something isn't right. Imagine how strange it becomes when every day is the same. Tim began to worry. What if I never get out of this loop? What if every day keeps repeating over and over and I can't do anything to change it? These thoughts wouldn't leave him alone, and every new morning alarm sounded more and more ominous. Every morning he woke up with a heavy feeling in his chest, knowing that another day without changes awaited him. Anxiety, couldn't stand to watch this calmly.
And that's when anger, stepped in. Imagine how frustrating it is to constantly face the same people, hear the same phrases, and know that there will be no consequences. It was all so infuriating for Tim. At one point, he even started to rebel against the day, trying to break the system, do something unexpected, scream, throw things, but it was all in vain. Everything returned to the start, and that only made him angrier. How can you be calm in such a situation when nothing can be changed? I felt the irritation boiling inside him, and I couldn't hold back this fury either.
But that's not all. Imagine how tiring it is to do the same thing every day, see the same faces, experience the same events. Everything starts to feel so dull, so disgusting. Tim couldn't stand seeing the same breakfasts, the same faces at school, hearing the same stories on TV. Everything around him became gray and gross. Disgust, could barely breathe from this monotony and sameness, and Tim felt the same way. He longed for something new, for some change, but he couldn't achieve it.
but you know what's most interesting? In the end, Tim realized that the only way to escape this endless loop was to change himself. He understood that every new day was a chance to become better, try something new, and find joy in the little things. And when he really started to do things differently, caring for others, learning new things, being attentive to those around him, this day finally changed. The next day he woke up, and everything was new. The lesson is that sometimes, to change the world around you, you first need to change yourself. Well, friends, it's time to say goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next adventures. Your comments are also very important to us, so be sure to let us know what you liked and what you'd like to see in the future. Good luck to everyone, and see you soon. Hello, dear friends. As usual, we have joy, anxiety, anger, and disgust here. Today, Tim will be playing a mode called Escape Sadness Barry's Prison Run. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and let's get started.
Oh no! Why did sadness lock us up here, in this colorful yet terribly scary prison? We need to find a way out of here. This place looks deceptively bright, but I feel there are many dangers lurking around. Tim, be careful. Every step could be a trap. Let's combine our efforts and find an exit. Guys, we need your support more than ever. Subscribe, hit the like button, and let's get through this challenge together.
Sadness, how could you lock us in here? This isn't just a prison, it's a nightmare. But know this, I won't go down without a fight. Tim, if anything goes wrong, we'll fight our way out. No one leaves us here.
Ugh, what a horrible place. These rainbow walls look disgusting and are not cheerful at all. Tim, try not to touch anything. Who knows what germs might be here?
Hey, it's Sadness. But why is she chasing us? Maybe she wants to tell us something. Tim, don't stop, but stay alert.
Sadness, if this is another trap, I won't tolerate it. But if she really wants to say something, why doesn't she stop and explain? Tim, keep running, but stay sharp.
Why does she look so strange? And why this chase in the first place? This looks disgusting. Tim, don't let her get too close. Who knows what she's up to?
Phew, I was so worried. It's good that Tim managed to escape, but what do we do now? What other traps might lie ahead? Tim, be very careful.
Guys, I don't know what's waiting for us ahead, but Tim's got everything under control. Look how skillfully and beautifully he's digging. He's doing great.
This is just horrible. Lava everywhere. Tim, be very careful. One wrong step and you could fall. I'm so worried about you. Please be attentive and cautious.
Damn it, why does there have to be lava here? This is just unbearable. Tim, be careful and don't stop. We have to get through this, no matter what.
Ugh, that was simply awful. The lava, the heat, and that unbearable smell. But Tim made it. Let's hope the next challenge is less disgusting.
Wow, guys. Look at that huge ball. It looks very dangerous and mesmerizing. Tim needs to be careful here.
Oh, this is really scary. If Tim doesn't get away in time, that huge ball could cause him serious harm. We need to hope that he is fast and careful enough to avoid this.
Come on, Tim, you're almost there. Just a little bit more and you've got this. I believe in you.
Yes, Tim made it, but this prison is just awful. I can't wait to finally leave this disgusting place.
Guys, I suggest we take a little break and listen to a few interesting stories while Tim is escaping from the prison. Haven't liked and subscribed yet? I'll give you 5 seconds to do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. If you missed it, I'm giving you another 5 seconds, and let's get started. When we became emotions in Nina's head, we immediately noticed that she was very withdrawn and reluctant to interact with other children. Nina often sat alone during lessons and breaks, and she found it hard to make friends. It was sad to see her joyful moments go unnoticed by those around her. I dreamed that she could open up and share her inner happiness with others. I knew I could help her if I tried harder to show how fun and interesting interaction can be.
However, I was in constant anxiety. I understood that Nina experienced a lot of fear when it came to socializing. Every time she needed to talk to someone or take part in a group task, her heart would start racing and she would become even more withdrawn. I worried that her fears were preventing her from opening up and building relationships. We needed to find a way to help her overcome these anxious feelings so she could feel more confident in social interactions.
I was frustrated when I saw that other kids didn't always understand Nina and sometimes judged her for being unsocial. It was unfair and wrong. I was angry that she had to feel lonely because of this issue and how sometimes others could hurt her. I knew something needed to be done to change the situation, and my anger turned into determination to help Nina improve her life.
At first, I felt disgusted seeing Nina isolate herself from others, with her fears and indecision worsening. It seemed like she was living in her own world, completely cut off from social life. I felt that these internal barriers were preventing her from enjoying social interactions. Therefore, we needed to help her overcome this sense of disgust towards interacting with others.
Initially, we decided to create small but joyful moments for Nina to help her feel more confident. We encouraged her to try participating in simple and enjoyable activities like games with friends or club activities. I used every opportunity to show Nina how communication could bring joy and satisfaction. Gradually, she started becoming more open to interactions and realized that socializing could be fun and pleasant.
I helped Nina manage her anxiety when she faced new situations. I tried to support her by reminding her that many of her fears weren't as terrifying as she imagined. We discussed her fears together, and I helped her gradually step out of her comfort zone, taking small steps.
From time to time, I felt anger towards those who didn't try to understand Nina or made her feel even more uncomfortable. But this anger helped me be more determined in supporting Nina. We worked on building her confidence so she could stand up to injustice and not let it hinder her development.
I learned to control my disgust and turn it into positive energy. We looked for ways to make Nina more open and receptive to interaction by creating comfortable and friendly situations. Gradually, Nina began to pay less attention to her sense of disgust towards socializing and started enjoying communication.
And then, after some time, Nina became significantly more sociable. She started making new friends, participating in group activities, and enjoying interactions with other children. I saw her face light up with happiness when she socialized and made friends. It was a moment we all had been waiting for, and I was incredibly happy to see Nina opening up and starting to enjoy socializing.
My anxiety gradually decreased as I saw Nina handling new situations. I was proud that her fears weren't stopping her and that she was finding joy in socializing. I knew she would continue to grow and develop.
I was satisfied that I was able to help Nina become more confident and sociable. My anger towards those who might have hurt her was now replaced by pride in her achievements. Nina was ready to face challenges, and we all made that possible together.
My disgust towards Nina's isolation and social rejection was now replaced by satisfaction. I was glad that Nina was able to overcome her internal barriers and find her place in the world.
Well, did you like it? If so, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll share another story with you. Today, we're all feeling a tremendous amount of excitement and joy. Our boy Tim has received an invitation to an amazing magical city that exists only in ancient fairy tales. We, his emotions, are ready to embark on this thrilling journey with him. Just imagine how many wonderful moments await us. Getting into this city is no easy feat, and Tim and I will have to face many exciting challenges. I can already see his face lighting up with happiness, and this is just the beginning.
But I can't help but worry. A journey to a magical city is always filled with surprises, and not all of them might be pleasant. We don't know what awaits us around every corner. There might be complex puzzles, dangerous situations, or magical creatures that could become obstacles. I'm afraid Tim might face challenges that could be too difficult for him. We need to be prepared for any outcome and help him deal with possible troubles.
I also feel a surge of anger, especially when I think about the potential difficulties. If anyone or anything tries to obstruct our journey, whether it's evil wizards or cunning traps, I'm ready to channel my anger and protect Tim. I won't tolerate anything standing in our way to reach our goal. We must stay strong and determined despite any obstacles that may come our way.
I can't ignore that this magical city isn't always perfect. While it seems enchanting, there might be strange or unpleasant things hidden within it. We could encounter magical creatures that are disgusting or dangerous. Labyrinths filled with webs or mysterious beings with unpleasant appearances might invoke my disgust. We need to be prepared to handle such unpleasantness and not let it distract us from our goal.
Despite all the concerns and worries, we're moving forward with great pleasure. Every new step reveals more wonders and amazing places. We meet friendly creatures, participate in magical games, and enjoy the beauty of the magical city. Seeing Tim open up and smile makes this entire journey especially meaningful and joyful.
I continue to be on guard, but I notice that my anxiety is gradually fading as we tackle the challenges. Tim is becoming more confident, and I'm starting to believe that we can handle any difficulties. We find solutions and deal with problems that arise along the way. This reduces my worries and helps me focus on supporting Tim further.
My anger hasn't disappeared, but now it's directed at protecting Tim from any potential threats. When we encounter difficulties or unpleasant situations, I remain resolute and ready to tackle any obstacle. In the end, our determination and bravery will help us overcome everything we encounter on our path.
In the end, our journey to the magical city becomes a true adventure. We manage to overcome all the challenges, enjoy the beauty, and learn many new things. Tim returns home full of impressions and happiness, and we, his emotions, are proud to have been part of this amazing journey. We've learned to handle our emotions and support each other in any situation, making our experience even more valuable and joyful.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now.
Hello, dear friends. Today we're diving into the Joy Exy Berry Prison Run. But before we jump into the action, we'd love for you to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. Also, drop a comment below to let us know what video we should make next.
Did you see that terrifying thing? Joy, care to explain what that is?
Oh, guys, I totally understand why you might have gotten confused. That creepy guard does look like me, but only at first glance. It's not just another version of me. It's my twisted, distorted copy, seemingly created just to scare and instill fear. It wears my face, but its heart is filled with nothing but coldness and darkness, with no trace of the real joy you know. This copy is nothing like me in essence. It carries only darkness and danger. So be extra careful. It might try to deceive you with its appearance, but don't be fooled. Its goal is far from mine. Keep your distance and don't let it throw you off.
Fine, Joy. We'll believe you. But I've got my eyes on that twisted copy of yours. It's infuriating how it dares to wear your face like it's trying to mock us. Every time I see it, my fists clench, and all I want to do is smash that grin right off its face. How dare it taint the image of our Joy with its sick, twisted version. This whole place is getting on my nerves with its dark corners, creepy shadows, and now this distorted copy walking around like it owns the place. If it tries anything, it's gonna learn real quick what happens when it messes with the wrong emotions.
I couldn't agree more. Just thinking about that twisted version of Joy gives me chills. It's so wrong, so utterly revolting. The way it moves, the way it looks at us with those cold, lifeless eyes. It's like it's void of any real emotion. Every time it's near, I feel like I need to cleanse myself from head to toe. It's as if the air around it gets tainted, thick with a sense of dread and discomfort. And don't even get me started on that sickly, twisted smile it has, like it's trying too hard to imitate Joy's warmth, but ending up as a grotesque parody. We need to get out of here as soon as possible, because the longer we stay, the more I feel like I'm going to lose my mind in this revolting place. Let's make sure Tim knows the difference between our Joy and that vile imposter.
Story time. Since today's game mode is really scary, our story has to be equally terrifying. This story will be about how Tim faced something horrifying and mysterious when he started seeing glowing eyes in the dark, following him everywhere. Today's story starts with our hero, Tim, finding himself in a rather unusual situation. Can you imagine that every night when the lights go out, glowing eyes begin to appear from the darkness? It sounds like something out of the scariest nightmare, doesn't it? Tim began noticing these eyes when he moved into a new house recently.
Wow! Just imagine waking up at night and seeing these eyes staring at you. I'd be raising all sorts of alarms if I spotted something like that. Every night for Tim becomes a real trial. The eyes get closer and closer, as if someone is deliberately trying to scare him.
Oh, how terrifying. Tim feels his anxiety increasing every night. He tries to find an explanation for these eyes, but all he discovers are just shadows and sounds that can't be explained. He fears that these eyes might not just be a figment of imagination, but something genuinely dangerous. All this time, he's tried to stay calm, but the fear begins to consume him.
And the worst part? These eyes seem to become more and more alive and sinister. They don't just glow. They look like something nasty and foul is hiding behind them. I'd be horrified to find out that these eyes are trying to sneak up on me from the darkness. Tim finds that they can change their position, following him even in the safest places. He starts avoiding the dark and fears falling asleep.
One day, when Tim decided to investigate what these eyes really were, he found an old note hidden in a dark corner under the floorboards. The note was written by someone who had also been haunted by these eyes. It described how the eyes weren't just ghosts or illusions, but symbols of something much more sinister. Tim realized he needed to solve this mystery to end the terror.
Yeah, it's absolutely unbearable. If I were in Tim's shoes, I'd be furious. But all he can do is figure out how to deal with this horror. Fortunately, he started researching old legends and looking for clues that could explain who or what was behind these eyes.
Every action and discovery becomes more and more intense. Tim uses all his courage to face his fear, and each night becomes harder not to look into the darkness, afraid to see those very eyes. He tries using light to drive them away, but they keep coming back like an unending nightmare.
And finally, when Tim confronts what's behind these eyes, he realizes it's not something physical, but rather a mass of negative energy and fear created by people's past. The eyes were a projection of their fears and horrors, and now that Tim understands this, he knows that only he can change the situation and free himself from this sinister influence.
So friends, Tim's story about the glowing eyes teaches us that even in the darkest corners and the scariest situations, there can be light. It's important not to lose hope and to keep fighting despite all fears. We hope you enjoyed this story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave your comments so you don't miss our exciting new tales.
Yes, and honestly, if I were in Tim's place, I'd want you to support us in our work too. All your likes and comments help us create even more interesting stories.
And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you won't miss our next videos. I hope you don't encounter horrors like Tim did, but if you do, we'll always be here to support you.
And make sure to leave your comments about today's story. We'll be happy to read your opinions and feedback. Your words help us improve.
The next story will be about how Tim encountered frightening footsteps at night. Story about how Tim faced something truly unsettling. Recently, when he returned home after a long day, he felt something strange happening. Every night as he walked down the hallway, he started hearing footsteps. At first, it was just a faint sound, almost like a whisper. But what was really odd, every time he turned around, he saw no one. These footsteps seemed to get closer and closer, and it began to trouble him. At night, when everything should be quiet, such sounds are especially unsettling.
Wait a minute, this is absolutely intolerable. If I were in Tim's shoes, I certainly wouldn't sit idly by. It's terrible when you hear footsteps and see no one. It drives you crazy. Every time Tim turned around, he found nothing. No person, not even a shadow. And yet the footsteps kept getting closer, making his heart race faster and faster. Even the bravest person would struggle with this.
Oh, this is so frightening to hear. Tim really went through a tough time. His anxiety grew with each night when he heard those footsteps. He tried to calm himself, but every time he turned around, it was just an illusion, and the footsteps kept coming. He started avoiding the hallways, especially at night. Those sounds were like a loud reminder that something was wrong. Anxiety filled his thoughts, and every night became a real torment.
And you know what's even worse? Those footsteps seemed more and more disgusting and unpleasant, as if someone or something was getting too close. Tim noticed that the footsteps were not just normal. They sounded heavy and sticky, and that sensation was absolutely repulsive. Every time he tried to figure out the source of the footsteps, he only found emptiness. It was like a constant pursuit that he couldn't escape from. The feeling was so intense that even his hands started sweating and his breathing became labored.
But here's what's amazing. One night, Tim decided to take a brave step. He brought a camera and recorded every movement when he heard the footsteps. And then something incredible happened. When he reviewed the footage, he discovered that the footsteps were actually noises made by an old radiator, which creaked and clicked. It turned out that it was just old equipment, making sounds that resembled footsteps, especially in the silence of the night.
So, it turns out all that fear was due to an ordinary radiator. All that stress and worry over something so trivial. I understand it might have been really scary, but still. How could he get so easily confused? All those nights of fear could have been avoided if he had just checked that radiator.
Nevertheless, it was an important lesson for Tim. Even the scariest situations can turn out to be simple misunderstandings or trivial things. The main thing is not to let fear control us and to seek rational explanations. Tim managed to handle the situation and now sleeps peacefully, knowing that the footsteps in the hallway were just sounds from an old radiator.
Well, we should also be cautious with the sounds we hear in the quiet of the night. Sometimes these sounds may be simpler than we think, but they can still scare us. We're glad Tim figured it out and no longer has such fears.
We hope you enjoyed this story. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and leave a comment. Let us know what Roblox mode you'd like to see next. Thanks for being with us, and see you soon.
Yes, support us so we can create more interesting and exciting stories. Your likes and comments are very important to us.
And don't forget to hit the bell to not miss our new videos. We always appreciate your engagement.
See you next time, friends. Be careful and don't be afraid to face what scares you.
Hello, everyone, dear friends. As usual, we're here with your favorite characters, joy, anxiety, anger, and disgust. Today, Tim is going to tackle a new mode called Anger Berry's Prison Run.
Is that Anger? Is that you? Did you lock us up, trap Tim in this scary prison?
No, Anxiety, calm down. I don't know the guy who locked us up here. It must be my twin brother. Otherwise, I can't explain who he is because he really looks like me. Guys, subscribe to the channel and like the video, and also comment below why you think that guy looks so much like me.
Hey guys, look at the walls. Those are memories. How did they get there? Is Tim inside someone's head? How is that even possible?
Why assume we're inside someone's head? Maybe they're just colorful balloons and there's nothing more to it.
I understand. But we're in a ventilation shaft, and it's really scary. Tim, please, let's hurry up. I'm very scared.
Darn it, there's that guy who looks like me again. He spotted us. Let's get out of here.
Oh no, he's really close. I can't stand being near him. He smells awful. Tim, please, let's move to a more pleasant and comfortable place quickly.
Ventilation! I see the ventilation! We need to run there. We'll get away from him, and he definitely won't reach us there. Let's go!
Oh no, not there. We just came from there. I'm really scared of confined spaces. It's dark and cramped. What if Tim gets stuck? Aren't there any other options?
I'm about to explode. Who the hell is this guy? How dare he trap us here? How dare he chase after Tim? Once we escape, I'll sort this out. But for now, we have to stay alert and extremely cautious.
Oh no, oh God, it smells so terrible here. Why did we even come here? I can't stand any of this. Tim, let's get out of here as soon as possible.
See how strong our boy is. He'll make it. We'll definitely get to the end. But where exactly are we now?
Great, we ended up in a dungeon. Everything here is very bright. What if something collapses right on our boy? It's really scary, honestly.
Tim needs to be more careful and vigilant. Below us is lava. If Tim makes a mistake, he could fall right into it. We can't let that happen.
Oh my God, it's so cold, damp, and musty here. Can I please not look at this? Although I'll still feel it. It's awful. There are so many rats. It feels like we're the first ones to come here in hundreds of years.
Look at that big sphere. It looks mesmerizing.
Joy, that big sphere could crush Tim. It's really scary. What if he doesn't make it in time and gets squished? I'm afraid to even think about it.
Anxiety, calm down. Tim is doing great. He'll make it in time and won't get crushed. I promise.
I think Tim needs to be careful. He's almost done it.
Great, hooray. Tim has overcome that obstacle. Keep it up. Guys, I think it's a good time to share a few fascinating stories with our viewers. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and we'll get started. This story is about the invasion of alien monkeys. When we first saw them in our world, I felt a sense of adventure. These creatures were amusing and strange, with vibrant colors and unusual abilities. Although their arrival caused some commotion, I was thrilled to witness something so extraordinary and fantastic. There was joy in seeing the world in a new light and experiencing something unique.
However, I couldn't help but worry. The alien monkeys behaved very oddly. They started exploring the city, and it seemed like they didn't quite understand how things worked here. I was concerned that their behavior could lead to problems or even pose a threat to people. I tried to keep an eye on their actions, hoping that they wouldn't cause harm and could quickly adapt to our world.
Honestly, I was frustrated by how they were wandering around the streets and creating chaos. The monkeys were littering, building their toys right in the middle of roads and disrupting people's daily lives. I felt like we needed to stop them, or at least teach them to behave more respectfully. Why should we put up with their mess and disorder when they're the ones causing it?
When the monkeys started spreading their exotic products and gadgets, I couldn't help but feel disgusted. These strange things looked creepy and were completely messy. Where did they get all that dirt on their paws? And why did they decide to leave it on people's furniture and clothing? I hoped they would quickly learn how to behave in our world. Otherwise, it would become a big problem.
Fortunately, once their behavior stabilized a bit, I noticed that they began interacting with people and helping them with everyday tasks. The monkeys used their alien technology to create fun and useful things, which brought joy to many people. They became part of our world, and their presence added a unique charm to the everyday routine.
Although I saw that the monkeys were beginning to establish contact with people, I still worried that a new conflict or problem could arise. How would their relationship with us develop? Would they be able to adapt and understand that their actions needed to align with our customs? I kept an eye on the situation to be prepared for any surprises.
Sometimes I was still angry when some of the monkeys didn't fully grasp what they could and couldn't do. Their attempts to experiment with our technology led to annoying glitches and even breakdowns. It was extremely frustrating, but I knew that patience and understanding would help to improve their behavior and integration.
Gradually, as the monkeys learned to maintain order and respect our customs, my disgust began to fade. I realized that much of their strange behavior was due to their ignorance about our world. Once they settled in, it became clear that their presence could be interesting and even beneficial.
In the end, the alien monkeys found their place in our world. They became new friends and partners, and their unusual abilities helped people in various aspects of life. We learned to see the world from their perspective and understood that sometimes unexpected events can lead to amazing discoveries and new opportunities. We were all delighted that we could adapt and find common ground with these extraordinary beings.
Did you enjoy the story, friends? Do you want more? Then hit that like button and subscribe, and let's keep going.
Recently, Tim had a real blast. His parents decided to surprise him with a day of adventures at an amusement park. We were all, including me, thrilled about it. Tim couldn't wait to ride all the cool attractions, roller coasters, the Ferris wheel, and water slides. Everything was filled with laughter, bright lights, and fun. Tim was literally glowing with happiness, and it was contagious.
But of course, I couldn't fully relax. I was worried about Tim's safety on the rides. Some of them looked too fast and dangerous. I kept a close eye to make sure he was strapped in and reminded him to pay attention to the instructions. My anxiety grew when Tim and his friends decided to try the most extreme ride in the park.
I was a bit irritated when some of the kids in line for the ride started shouting and pushing. It was disrespectful and disrupted others, including Tim. It especially annoyed me when one of the boys started throwing trash on the floor. I thought if they were more considerate of others, everything would be much more pleasant.
Additionally, I felt disgusted by the state of some places in the park. Seeing dirty restrooms and unclean trash bins, I couldn't help but feel it ruined the overall experience. I hoped Tim wouldn't notice and get upset about the mess. I wanted him to focus on the fun and good experiences rather than the unpleasant details.
Fortunately, despite the small troubles and issues, Tim and his friends enjoyed every moment of the day. They laughed, screamed with excitement on the rides, and even with some inconveniences, the day was unforgettable. Tim was so happy that his smile could light up the entire day. We were all delighted to see him spending time with friends and enjoying all the park's joys.
My anxiety eased a bit when we saw that everyone got home safe and sound. I was relieved that Tim was cautious and followed all the ride instructions. Overall, the day went well despite minor worries.
I was still somewhat annoyed by some people's behavior in the park, but I realized it was important not to let these small things ruin the overall experience. Tim was happy, and that's what mattered most. I decided it was better to focus on the positive moments and enjoy that Tim had such a wonderful day.
Over time, I got used to the fact that large places have some unpleasant details. I was still glad that Tim was able to enjoy his day despite the minor inconveniences. It was important to see that he found joy in every aspect and enjoyed his time with friends.
And so the evening came to a close, and Tim was full of impressions and happiness. This day at the amusement park became a real celebration for him, full of adventures and fun. We were all pleased to be part of this special day, and I was proud of how Tim handled any challenges to make the day truly unforgettable.
So, how did you like the story? Share your thoughts in the comments and let us know which mode we should try next time.
Guys, we've reached the final boss. Tim needs to defeat him.
He's huge and scary. Subscribers, help us.
He's disgusting. Tim, let's finish him off and get out of here quickly. I believe in you. You can do it.
Tim, tear him to shreds! Go, Tim! He deserves this! We're at the final stretch. Just one last push and we're free!
Look how well Tim is handling it. Keep it up. Go, Tim. Just a little more to go.
What if it hurts Tim? I'm so scared. Please, my boy, be careful.
Oh no! He's insane! Tim, show him. He has to pay for locking us up. Go on, just a bit more. I believe in you. Tear him apart.
Thanks for sticking with us, everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support means the world to us and keeps us motivated. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. See you next time. Hello, everyone, dear friends. I'm Joy, and we're so happy to see you again. Today, we have an incredible adventure planned. But before we start, let's make sure you're subscribed to our channel.
Hi, everyone. I'm Disgust, and I'm here too. Yes, Joy, you're right. But don't you all want to hit that subscribe button and give us a like so you don't miss our new videos?
Exactly. Your likes and subscriptions help us create more interesting content for you. And don't forget to click the bell so you're always notified about our new releases.
And of course, leave a comment. We always love to hear your opinions. Just remember to keep it clean and polite. After all, no one wants to read nasty comments.
Thank you for your support. It really means a lot to us. So, are you ready for a new adventure?
Let's get started. And remember, subscribing, liking, and commenting are your tickets to our next incredible journey.
Today, Tim will be stealing diamonds from a jewelry store in Roblox.
I don't think we should do this. It's very dangerous. What if he gets caught and sent to jail? What if he gets into trouble and something happens to him? I'm very worried about our boy Tim. Look through this window. There are lasers, and I've heard about them. It's a security system. If you touch one of those lasers, the alarm will go off. You mustn't touch those beams under any circumstances, or there will be trouble.
Wow, look at all these lasers. It's like we're in a high-tech spy movie. Isn't it exciting? I just know Tim is going to navigate through this like a pro.
Exciting? This is a disaster waiting to happen. Those lasers are set up to catch us in one wrong move. And look at that guard over there. This is not going to be easy.
Look, the guard is asleep at his desk. This is incredible. It's our chance to slip by while he hasn't noticed us. What luck?
He's asleep? This is infuriating. He's not even doing his job, and we have to risk everything because of his laziness. We need to act quickly and carefully not to wake him up.
This is so risky. If he wakes up, we could be in serious trouble. We need to move extremely carefully and avoid making any noise.
Ugh, what a disgusting guard. Even asleep at his desk with everything around him dirty. All right, let's focus on not waking him up.
Don't worry. Everything will be fine. Tim, move quietly and cautiously. We have a chance to get through this if we stay smart and focused.
Be careful, Tim. Move past him quietly without making any noise. If anything goes wrong, this lazy guard could get us into serious trouble.
Stay focused on what you're doing. Don't make sudden movements and try not to make any noise. If the guard wakes up, it will be a disaster.
Tim, just stay away from that disgusting guard and be careful. I hope he doesn't wake up and cause us more problems.
We can do this if we work together and stay positive. Good luck, Tim. We believe in you. Today, we have an incredible story about how Tim went on a space adventure. It all started when he won a ticket on a spaceship in an intergalactic lottery. Can you imagine? A real spaceship. Tim was thrilled and immediately began preparing for the journey.
Yeah, I remember how worried I was. Space is so huge and unknown. What if the ship breaks down? Or what if they run out of oxygen? I kept thinking about these dangers and couldn't calm down.
Seriously, anxiety, calm down a bit. Tim can handle it. What irritated me more was the thought that the spaceship might be unreliable. And what if someone on the crew turned out to be irresponsible? I was ready to take on anyone who tried to stop Tim.
Let's not forget about cleanliness. Spaceships can be so dirty. Dust, germs, all that stuff disgusts me. I hope they had good filters and cleaners on board.
When Tim finally took off, it was amazing. He saw Earth from space, like a blue marble floating in the vastness. And then the real adventures began. The first destination was the mysterious planet Zelonia, covered in luminescent jungles.
But the jungles looked so dangerous. Unknown creatures, poisonous plants. I kept thinking something terrible was about to happen.
Listen, anxiety, stop being scared. Tim is a true hero. He made it through the jungle despite all the dangers. And when one of the creatures tried to attack him, he bravely defended himself.
Don't forget that the jungle was full of dirt and slime. But Tim kept moving forward.
That surprised me a bit, because I would have gone home at the first hint of dirt.
And finally, after all the trials, Tim found an ancient temple hidden deep in the jungle. Inside the temple was a magical crystal that could grant wishes. Tim used it to return home and share his incredible adventures with his friends.
I was so happy when he came back safe and sound. All those dangers, it was too much for me.
Yeah, I'm glad too. But the main thing is that Tim proved that courage and determination can overcome any obstacle.
And thank goodness he finally cleaned up after all those adventures. Cleanliness is the key to health.
We have a fantastic story about how Tim discovered a hidden underwater city. It all started when he found an ancient map in his attic. The map showed the way to the legendary city of Atlantica, said to be filled with treasures and secrets. Tim was ecstatic and couldn't wait to embark on this underwater adventure.
Oh, I remember how worried I was. Diving deep into the ocean? What if his oxygen tank ran out? Or if he encountered dangerous sea creatures? The ocean is vast and unpredictable, and my mind was racing with all the possible dangers.
Seriously, anxiety, chill out. Tim's got this. What really got me fired up was the thought that someone else might find the city first and steal all the treasures. Tim had to be quick and brave to get there before anyone else.
Ew! Let's not forget about the ocean. It's filled with all sorts of unpleasant things. Seaweed, fish slime, and who knows what else. I was just hoping Tim had a good wetsuit to keep all that yuck away.
When Tim finally set off on his journey, he used a high-tech submarine to dive deep into the ocean. He saw incredible things, colorful coral reefs, schools of shimmering fish, and even a playful dolphin that guided him part of the way. It was like entering a magical world beneath the waves.
Enough with the fear. Tim was determined. When he finally saw the outline of Atlantica, he knew he was on the right track. But then he had to navigate through a maze of underwater caves. It made my blood boil thinking about all the obstacles he had to overcome, but Tim kept pushing forward.
But then, as he got closer to the location marked on the map, the water became darker and more ominous. Strange shadows moved in the depths, and I couldn't stop thinking about what might be lurking there. My heart was pounding with worry.
And let's not forget the murky water in those caves. It was filled with silt and algae. Just gross. But Tim bravely swam through, keeping his eyes on the prize. I had to admire his determination, even if it was pretty disgusting down there.
Finally, Tim emerged into a vast underwater cavern where the city of Atlantica lay before him. It was breathtaking. Ancient structures covered in sea plants, glowing with a mysterious light. And in the center of the city was a treasure trove filled with gold, jewels, and artifacts from a long-lost civilization.
I was so relieved when he found the treasure. But then I started worrying about how he would get it all back to the surface safely. What if something went wrong?
Tim's no quitter. He carefully packed up as much as he could carry and made his way back through the caves. When he finally surfaced, I was cheering. He'd done it. He'd found Atlantica and its treasures.
And he made it back without getting too covered in sea slime, which was a huge relief. Tim's adventure was incredible, but I was glad he was back on dry land.
Once, Tim decided to go on a treasure hunt in an abandoned castle. We were all thrilled about this adventure. Just imagine, old walls, hidden passages, and secret rooms full of mysteries. Tim was ready for any challenges because at the end of the journey, untold riches awaited him.
But of course, I started to worry immediately. What if the castle collapses? Or what if there are ghosts? Tim was so determined that my worries only grew. Every creaking floorboard made me anxious. Tim, be careful. Are you sure this is safe? I kept repeating over and over.
And I was furious at Anxiety for her constant fears. Enough already with the fear, Anxiety. Tim is doing great. And anyway, if he meets anyone, I'll take care of it myself, I grumbled. This castle is nothing compared to our determination.
And I was disgusted by the state of the place. Dust, cobwebs, and strange smells. It was too much. Ugh, Tim, just look at how dirty it is here. Be careful. Don't touch anything with your hands, I warned.
But Tim didn't give up. He found clues, solved puzzles, and got closer to the treasure room. And finally, he opened an old chest full of gold and jewels. We all rejoiced. It was an incredible adventure that showed our fears and doubts were in vain. Tim proved that with determination and bravery, any obstacles can be overcome. That's how our thrilling journey ended. I hope you enjoyed it. We're so glad you joined us for this adventure. We hope you enjoyed our stories and had as much fun as we did.
Yes, yes. And if you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's really important for us to keep you updated on all our new adventures. Also, please give us a thumbs up so we know you enjoy what we're doing.
Hey, don't delay. Subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. We worked hard for you, and it's the only way to support us. So come on, do it now.
Yes, and don't forget to leave a comment. We want to know what you liked or what you'd like to see next.
Thank you so much for your support. We can't wait to see you again and embark on new adventures together. See you soon, friends.